Good morning, everybody. Welcome to February. I'm so glad that we are 1 month closer to my favorite time of the year, the spring and the summer markets. We're going to hang on to the sunshine that we have today. And in my household, we are celebrating a very special person's birthday. Happy birthday, Cliff. Love you, babe. So it's time to go through the market update that we do every month. We're also going to hit on a couple different things, and I've got my notes here because there's so many great points that I just want to make sure you guys are aware of. And if it resonates with you, we can talk deeper and ask more questions about that. So we're going to not only hit on these charts, but we're going to talk about affordability, some of the hottest markets, interest rates, where they are, what you should focus on right now if you are a buyer or a seller, and what it means to have a strong agent working for you, because in this volatile market, that is something that is huge. So we always start with the charts, but I wanted to give you a quick little teaser. Let's jump into it. And we're going to talk right from the start about the elephant in the room. We talked about that as a shift market, Q4 of last year, and what that means. And a shift is when your mindset changes. And we are changing. Price around here is changing. Now, we have seen it come down from where we were last year, right? So January we were 212,000. This January of 2023 we were 195,000 as an average sales price for Champaign County. The peak that we saw was in June. Now, do I think that this is a trend that's going to continue to fall and prices are going to continue to drop? The answer is no. I know because we look at the data every year that prices are lower this time of year. So somebody really wants to get a hold of me. What we also know are homes available for sale. We are down. We still drop. We are seeing such a huge drop, and that's why I think prices are going to be okay and stabilize and continue to level out and even come back up a little bit later this spring, is because our inventory is still so tight here. So in the month of January in Champaign County, there were only 173 houses available for sale. That is low. Why am I so confident with this and where price I think is going to go is because when we look at prices or houses that go under contract, we see the same thing happening every year. We see that it comes back in the spring. So last January was the start of our climb, and we peaked in April, May, June, July, right? So we know we're right here in January. This trend line is going to go up. So don't panic. I think one of the biggest objectives I have right now from sellers is it would be hard for me to put my house on the market because I have a 3% interest rate. So that is a real concern. That is a real objection out there. We know that 18% fewer listings have come on the market. And a big driving factor of that is because where interest rates are and what sellers used to be able to get if they were to buy. So they're hesitant to get their house on the market. So let's talk about interest rates. That's the other elephant that's in the room. And let's just go right at it because it's important to understand when we look at historical numbers, we are still below where we should be. When we look at this yellow line, this is the historical average from when they started tracking it in 1972. So this number is a little bit lower than what we finished the year, and in fact where we are with interest rates today, which are hovering right around 6%. But what we need to know is our trend line shows that we should be above 7.75 points. So about 7.8 is where historically we should be. That's following that national trend line. And we are still significantly below that, to the tune of almost, 1.75 points. So is this still a good time to lock in on an interest rate? The answer is yes. And I would encourage you to do that because, as we know, the Feds met yesterday and the day before, and for the 8th time, they intend on raising interest rates. So we will see that impact come this Monday, February 6th. So my real strong message to you would be, if you have an interest rate that you need to lock, do it before Monday, because we know that they're going to go up on Monday. The other thing is, if you are not thinking about buying right now, this is a great time to work on your credit, because it can take between 90 days and a year to really work on it. And so if you're hanging back in the market to see where it balances out and where it normalizes, This is your time to really get your credit figured out and work on it so that you're ready to pull the trigger when interest rates finally stabilize, when prices finally stabilize, and it's a good time for you. So, all right, let's circle back to what I alluded to at the beginning of our talk here. The biggest challenge right now is affordability. With that means the most attractive markets are the housing or where prices are generally lower. And ding ding, that is us right here in the Midwest market. We are certainly more affordable than some of the West Coast states and some of the other states that we've seen extreme highs, and now they're seeing much lower sales price houses when we look at an overall percentage. So rest assured, we're in the Midwest. We are still pretty stable because our affordability is pretty low. So I also want to just encourage you to look at what is the best match for you. Don't necessarily worry so much about the interest rate. We're still historically low compared to what our national average might be, but you got to find the long-term right solution for you and for your family situation. And that's a house. That is not an interest rate. You can always refinance. Most people do not carry their loan or have it for the 30 years that they're going to lock in today or in the next, couple months of duration before things really balance. So find the right house for you and be ready to go when it comes on the market. Let's see. I think some of the other things and most important things, I have a lot of points and I'll put some of these in the comments, but rates are really volatile right now, which means that different banks are going to offer different solutions. If you're a buyer, I encourage you to go out and shop around for interest rates and really be educated and informed on which banks are going to help you, especially if your monthly payment and your affordability is a huge factor in you deciding to buy a house. Have those interviews with lenders and local banks and figure out what is the best option for you. And then the last thing I want to touch on is how important a strong agent is in this time of market right now. When we're in a transition market, it's just keep in mind, 70% of the agents that are licensed right now have never been through any type of recession. So when you're making your decision on who you want to work with, really be confident in their ability to represent you to the best of their ability and to what you deserve. So that's prices and negotiations. It's guiding you through the lending process and interest rates and what terms of your loan you need to be considering. There's so many other different factors. So today was a little long, it was a little wordy, but so much good stuff. We're in a transitional market and you need to be aware of that and you need to know how to respond. Buy the house, date the interest rate, and work with an agent who knows how to help you through that. And then most importantly, if you see Cliff Roostrom or hit him up on social, it's his birthday today. So we're going to end on that. Thanks, everybody.